Islam.
Islam,
Islam, good brother. How you been?
I'm alright.
Yes, sir.
My question today is, what's next on the Amexem-Moor-Empire agenda for the next quarter?
Mm. We are in the middle of upgrading a lot of the Imperial government operations. Periodically, I order all the departments and sub-departments to take a look at their processes and see where we can make changes because technologies change and we have more folks available, meaning we have more minds and more hands, so you can get a little more things done. So it allows us to go back and revamp how we do things and get them to become more efficient and more proficient so that our government structure operates in a manner that gives our folks, our nationals, the best quality government that we can provide them. And by default, provide them and all of our kith and kindred with the very best possible services. Moors-Empire-Majesty is coming, and we will be celebrating that. And this year probably will be the largest celebration we've ever had empire-wide. I don't particularly care what folks do in their private capacity. It's none of my business. I'm here to protect what they do in their private capacity, as long as they're not breaching the Mexican Empire Constitution or being unjust to someone. I don't get involved in what they do. We don't ask for much, but Moors-Empire-Majesty, our folks, their children don't get instruction that day. Our folks don't go to the place where they trade their labor for wages that day. That's a day that we take as a nation, empire-wide, to give thanks to the beloved Creator and our beloved ancestors for all that we've been allowed to accomplish. Specifically, that we've been granted the gift of love, of being able to reconstitute ourselves, reestablish ourselves, and reemerge as a nation to be taken seriously, to be respected in international discourse all throughout this planet. And so I look forward to that particular function. We're just over 30 Earth days away from it. I look forward to it. And we're looking forward to getting ready for next year's fiscal budget proposal and potential negotiations. The highlight of my duties, obligations, and responsibilities. Well, one of the highlights. Constitutionally, I have to do the obligation and responsibility we talked about before to propose a fiscal budget. So generally speaking, right after Moors-Empire-Majesty is when I go to all the department heads and say, all right, you and your department heads, what say you? What would you like to have inside of your departmental operations?
What needs to be expanded and what needs to be cut off, per se?
Well, their budgetary requests let me know what their agenda is and lets me get an idea of where they want to go and why. And I have to take a look at it and see what's conducive to where the empire is headed. And I take what they're suggesting, what they're requesting, and I take a look at what I have in mind from what my notes are and things I've already looked at regarding those various departments and sub-departments for the proposal I intend to make. Take a look at what they have, what I see what makes sense, and I make adjustments to what I'm preparing to propose. And generally, within 30 Earth days after Moors-Empire-Majesty, I will let my chief of staff know I'm prepared to provide the fiscal budget proposal instrument unto the Imperial Council so that the Council can do their constitutional duty, which is take it apart, as we talked about before, and legislate. But to get there requires negotiations, sometimes requires horse trading, as they say. Sometimes it requires no input from me whatsoever. I get to sit back and watch and get to see folks that are generally very cordial with one another become very territorial. Since we have a finite amount of finances to work with, resources being limited means not everybody gets what they want. So negotiations can be spirited. Sometimes I have to go into negotiation with them because they want to ask me, why do you want X amount of these? And I need this, and they seek the horse trade. It'll make it easier for us to be able to legislate this thing if you would change your numbers with this. How about this? What about that? Hadha, Dalika. And sometimes I'm prepared to enter the fray. On occasion, I've had to enter the fray. The chief supervisor of the Imperial Council, the Grand Wazir, well, the Grand Wazir sometimes is very, very effective, more so than other times of his discharge of his duties. Let's just say that the Grand Wazir ensures that all budget negotiations are spirited. I love to sit back and watch.
I hope all the Moors is hearing that. That means government is working.
Government at its finest, in my view. No rubber stamp around here. I must bring my A game when I put together a budget proposal. The questions are fair. The questions are legitimate. The haggling is, in some cases, more appropriate than other times.
So that's just another aspect altogether.
Well, the Amexem-Moor-Empire is a constitutional monarchy, not a monarchy. No absolute power over here. Well, yes, there are a lot of things that we have to look forward to here within the Amexem-Empire jurisdiction. We originally were looking at 5 cities to go operational, and 3 to 5, since we have already gotten operational in some already, and we do have limited operations now on the ground in certain cities. We're ramping up stronger. We may very well end up on the ground in as many as 12 new cities, and on top of the current 5 that we're already operational underway in.
Excellent.
We are very grateful to our beloved creator and beloved ancestors. A lot of folks are taking a very hard look at what we're doing, and they're saying, well, the evidence suggests that you're viable, and we are doing our due diligence to make sure that what we see is in fact actual, and we respect that. We know folks want to be ensured that what we say we're doing, they can actually see manifest. And so we're grateful for the opportunity to show folks that we're not about talk. We shut up and we consistently do the work that needs to be done so that our offspring who come behind us have a good leg to stand on, as they say. And so I think in short term, that's the best way I know how to answer your particular question. Any particular follow-up that you may have, we can address momentarily. I'll have to break for as it were, I have to deal with the Minister for the Land Management on an issue or two, and then we can reconvene here and continue the interview. So with that, thank you, and I say peace and love. Smile.
Peace on.